And that is the very reason why my ponds have nets on. Thing. I know it's had some fry out of my fry vat, even though it is covered up. There's little gaps and whatnot. But yeah, let's go scare it off. We do not want them. It's the second time it's been here today. That is all I need. So yeah, heron patrol for the next couple of weeks. I don't swear on this channel, but that is annoying. This is getting beyond a joke. Third or fourth time it's been here today. I was just eating my dinner. Well, it just took off before I could flip the camera around and show you. But yeah, I just caught it sitting about there on the fence. I've been keeping my eye on the shed roof all afternoon. Bearing in mind today's Sunday, and yeah, just finishing my dinner, and the missus shouts down the stairs. Obviously she's been looking out the window doing whatever she's doing upstairs. It's back. Look out the window. So I can't bloody see it. It looks a bit harder than I say. Just up here. But yeah, God knows how many fry it's had out of the fry vat. The lid was down, but there are gaps in it, so it hasn't wiped me out, that's for sure. But there's certainly a few less in there than there was a couple of days ago. So yeah, I've seen it now 3 times, but my thoughts are that it's already been here once today and had a mouthful, because the fry are acting very, very funny, shall we say. They're not coming up for food or anything, so I'd say he's already had a go in there today. So yes, what can we do about herons, people? Especially when they're as persistent as this one. 3 times that I know of, but possibly, I'm pretty sure and confident that it's been 4 times he's visited my garden today. What am I gonna do? Snap back to all in a bizzle. So this is the 5th time it's been back since around 4 o'clock. I'm going to stay inside quickly, you guys. 5th freaking time it's been back since freaking 4 o'clock. Other than a shotgun, and there it goes again. Anyone got any other ideas? I've literally covered everything up as best I can. I've put my triangle bit of net back up on here. I've sealed up all my fry as best I can. I know I've lost some fry, but yeah, we got back from walking the dog around 4 o'clock, and Emma noticed it first and said there's a heron on your shed roof. And what are we now? 6:45, and that's the 4th time I've seen it in 2.5 hours. And as I say, I know it's been at the fry before while we were out, because they're acting really strange, and all down at the bottom. I didn't think there was any in there when I first got back. You can't see me. Yeah, didn't think there was any in there when I first got back, because I opened up the lid, threw in some food, and nothing. Took them about 10-15 minutes to come up and start nibbling on their food. So yeah. This is going to be a nightmare. 4 times in 2.5 hours. It's 7:10 now, and we're back again. So I need to go back outside and scare the bastard off. 5 times since 4 o'clock, plus however many fry he ate before I saw him. bloody thing. And there he goes. Doesn't even look like he took off very far. Be right back, guys. Yeah, so we're now sitting out here on Heron patrol. It's just a pigeon in the tree. But yeah, 6 times now in 3 hours. And yeah, plus 1 or 2 more times while we were out and getting at the fry. So yeah. So I put it to you then, guys. As you all know, my ponds are pretty well covered, to be honest. But it's worrying. It is worrying because for a heron to come back that much in 3 hours, I have to keep scaring it off. He's a persistent little beggar, isn't he? So other than nets, which in this situation has to be the best form of protection. Now the only advice I can give you guys, if you are suffering from herons, like apparently I am, when netting a pond, try and raise the net, like I do on my main pond, above the water level. Don't just droop it along the flat surface. You know, I'm not talking an inch or 2 above your pond, I'm talking 30 centimetres to a foot. For those of you that can remember my original pond, I had created a box frame that was 30 centimetres tall, and that was netted because, as I say, they've never stopped in the garden, but we are on a flight path between the River Nene and Fairy Meadows, so I have seen them fly over many a time since I've moved in here. This is the first time one's ever stopped and found me, but then I've got a lot of big nice fish now, so clear pond, easy for them to see flying over, I guess. But yeah, anyway, going back to what I was saying, raise the net above the pond by as high as you can. 30 centimetres is an ideal height, and the reason behind that is because if the net is on touching the water or very close to the water, inch or 2 above, they're still going to stab at the fish. They might not be able to take one through the net, but they will be stabbing through the net into the water, and obviously their beaks will pierce a fish, no problem. And as I say, might not be able to take a fish from your pond, but you don't really want loads of holy fish either. So yeah, if you do suffer from a heron, get a net as soon as possible. Raise your net above the pond. I'll show you mine again close up in a second, as high as you can, so that it doesn't have a chance to spear at the fish. The only one area that it could possibly do that is over where they feed, so I'm going to sort that bit out in a moment. So yeah, as you can see, I've pegged up the corner up here now, so there's a net and it's going obviously straight down, so hopefully there'll be no pecking in there. The area where I normally feed, I've raised up with a sleeper, so again the net's quite taut and tight. There is no way he's going to get anywhere near the water through that way. And there is a chance he might try and walk on the net though, but it should be tight enough and strong enough to keep him away from the water. So yeah, hopefully. All this side is pretty straight. Just pop this in there nice and tight. Keep everything as taut as possible. That's the key to nets. Keep them taut and keep them vertical. Yeah, as you can see, it's a bit of a not an ideal mess. There is a plan in the future to have this a lot easier access for me and a lot better for heron protection. The plan is, when I get round to it and I've finished tinkering around with everything else, is staple the top of this roof netting up along the top of the pergola, just under the guttering along there, and then have it coming up and over that way and then down there that way, and then work out what I'm doing with the sides, whether I make a curtain netting like I've seen some people do or what, I don't know. But because I've got to now have the netting on pretty much 24/7, I don't think I'm going to bother with the jump guards, because if the pond's fully netted around, why do you need jump guards? But yeah, that's how I've defended that pond. Let me show you what I've had to do to the fry pond. Because of the way it's situated, in fact, let me spin you around and talk you through it. Obviously there's a pipe coming out of that one there, and that one flows out there. So this corner has always been sort of raised up, and this bit of wood is normally sat along here to stop the wind lifting up this side. Whereas that now, not a very big gap at the minute because of what else I've done to it, but that gap was a lot bigger than that this morning, and especially in this corner over here. But what I've done is I've brought this further forward from this way. That bit of polycarbonate is just to protect the electric box and everything under there. So I've pulled that a little bit this way so it can no longer sort of stand in this area, and this area pecking through that hole there. There is no longer a hole through there anyway, if it does manage to get through there. I've now got a brick blocking this hole, because not that it could probably get in there, but there is a hole there, so I've got a brick blocking that hole off. I've got this bit of wood now. Well, I've rearranged the angle ever so slightly of this as well. That going there. I've got this fleece tree protection cover for winter and a bit of wood to stop the fleece falling in, basically along there, and that now blocks off that hole. And then the hole, best way to show you, under here probably. Yeah, move that out of the way. The hole that was there as a straight down vertical has now a bit of decking that goes from this edge of the pond to the return line on this filter. So although it looks like a lot of holes from this side, from straight down, if I can get over there, there's very little now place it can get in there. So I'm hoping I've done enough. I've got shed loads more bits, lumps of wood and things that I can use if needs be. People always laugh at me for hoarding bits of wood after jobs. Well, now who's laughing, because I don't need to go out anywhere and find something to protect my fish. I've already got plenty of crap in my garden, and then I've still got all those nets there as well. So if he keeps coming back and keeps persisting me, I have to keep making some, get some of these nets out. I mean, these green ones on pipes, they were from Steve from Cat and Eye Koi. I'm only currently using one little one at the minute over on the main pond, and then this net, which I explained a little while ago, is my old net, and as you can see it's raised probably only about 9 inches, but that was sat round the edge of the pond, and the net's raised and went over the pond that way. But at the moment it's just being a leaf collector. Yeah, it's still a bit of a mess down here, but I think I'm going to swap this little thin piece of wood along here for one giant thick piece of wood, and this weighs a ton. And if I push that way, there is no way any heron is getting any more fry out of there. And as of now, I've got these bricks are stopping that from blowing off, because that's keeping the electrics dry on Kevin's. Kevin, if you're watching this video, when do you want to come and collect that? I'm done with it now. But yeah, so there ain't no heron getting in that one anymore. But yeah, I'll just quickly show you these. They're not being, normally every time lately you've seen me lift this up, they're at the front munching for food. Well, they're not there. There are some in there because I've seen them come up for food, but normally when I do this, you guys see lots of hungry mouths just here. And right now I can't see one, just a reflection off the roof of this. But yeah, there are some in there somewhere, but they are, as you can see by that, really, that obviously doesn't help making a racket like that. But yeah, they're really not obviously happy at the minute, and as a lot of them have been snatched out of the pond, I wouldn't be happy either. So yeah, that is how to protect your fish from very persistent herons. And just whilst I was sitting there doing that video clip on my chair down there on my tripod, and I said I'll snap back to you all, I walked out here to start putting these up and whatnot, and as I got to here I heard a big noise. Heron was right there, and then he swooped off that way. So he was here the whole time I was sat there recording and talking to you guys, watching from the house roof this time. So yeah, he's becoming a pest, shall we say. 7 times now, that is. 7 times that I've seen, and obviously he's already had some fry out, so that's at least 8 in one day. 8 times in a day. Anyway, but there's lots of different ways. Obviously we can try and prevent herons, but there's only one successful 100% of the time way, which is a strong net raised above your pond. Because obviously you've got string lines, fishing lines, that kind of thing. But if they can, if they can find a way in, they will. I do apologise, I keep looking that way. Obviously, I'm looking for it. But yeah, string lines are a good preventative, but they do not stop herons. Obviously, they sit on your fences, they sit on your sheds, they sit on your house roof, studying, and they just sit there and work out the best way into the garden. So yeah, they're a good preventative, but they don't stop a heron. Your jump guards, again, bit of a preventative. People say herons don't swim. No, but they plunge. They generally don't swim. They're not a duck, but they plunge. They will jump into water, grab a fish and jump back out again. So obviously if you've got a straight down deep koi pond like I have, obviously they can't wade into the water, but if they've got access they will jump in and try and grab a fish if there's none near the edges. So yeah, jump guards, not, in my opinion, not an ideal preventative, because I mean a heron, looking at them, they're bloody tall birds. I mean, floor to, up here, jump guards are what, average 30 centimetres, herons average maybe 70, 80 centimetres tall, so they can quite easily stand on the edge of a koi pond, reach over with their long neck and get your fish. So yeah, jump guards are not really a heron preventative. Now pergolas are a great one. They don't stop herons getting in at your fish, but the less a heron flying over can see you've got fish in the pond, the less likely they are to stop and try. So that's why pergolas are really handy. Oh, do I need any more stress? Do you know what? I was only thinking the other day, I've had one of my best koi seasons I've had in a long while. I nuked the parasites nice and early this season, like proper nuked them, and they haven't been back. and yeah, everything's been going well at keeping it koi until now. So yeah, I do know that herons generally don't fish at night. Generally, it's not an impossibility, it's a generally. So looks like I'm going to be out pottering around the garden for the next couple of hours, just to make sure. But with all my lovely viewers watching this video, other than the thing we're not allowed to do, is there any way, or does anyone know of a way to scare a heron off for good? I've tried the old loud claps, and people have always said I have a really loud clap. I won't do it now because anyone wearing earphones will probably burst their eardrums. Oh, squirrel, yeah, don't mind you being over there. But yeah, anybody know how to scare a heron off for good? Other than the thing we're not allowed to do, that we're not mentioning. So yeah, wish me luck. Ooh. Even if I get rid of it for today, I'm at work all day tomorrow. It's just going to keep coming back tomorrow, so I need to 100% make sure that my ponds cannot be got at while I'm not here tomorrow. So I'm going to go around the garden in a minute, potter about, and try and make sure that every nook and cranny of both ponds is fully protected. Again, net. It's the only way. It's the only way. Obviously I've got polycarbonate over that one, but because I've got 2 over pond returns, three actually over pond returns, from 3 different filters, it's very difficult to cover every nook and cranny. So I'm going to go find some of my big lumps of wood that's kicking about and block off every blooming hole that I can. So yeah, all I need. Yeah, and if anybody's got any other ideas, would greatly appreciate it. As I say, this is the first time I've suffered with herons on my pond. Keep seeing pigeons flying, so it's distracting me. But yeah, if anybody has any good ideas, please let me know. I keep saying that because I'm quite worried. No, that's a seagull. As you can tell, a bit twitchy, as Vince would say. 10p, 50p, 10p, 50p. Yeah, so that's a pigeon. Yeah, I'm going to love you and leave you then, guys. I'm going to go and make another pigeon. I'm going to go and see what I can do to the pond to protect it as best I can. So on that note, guys, thanks all for watching. Wish me luck. Like the video if you haven't already. Hit the thanks button down below if you want to help show your support for everything I do here on the channel. And on that note, we will catch you all on the next one.